Hi everyone, I'm just working on my new cardigan that I've been talking about in my videos. I ended up going with a crumpled waffle cardigan stitch. Um, this one is by For the Frills, so you can find her online. She's got a lot of really nice patterns, but this is the crumpled waffle stitch pattern. And this one's worked out to where this is the front panel of the cardigan, so it's not too long, but it's a nice length. I'm going to add some pockets to it eventually as well, but it's all worked sideways. So you work the front panel sideways, and then you start the back panel and leave an open space for the armhole here. And then once you've done that back panel, you do another armhole space, and then do the next front panel. So it all works up in one, except for the sleeves you add in later, and then do the what do you call it? The trim for the collar, things like that. So yeah, this is the front panel done on mine. I'm doing the size extra large on her pattern. Again, the lady that you can find this pattern for online, her name is For the Frills, and called the Oversized Waffle Cardigan. It's a free pattern that you can download. I found her on Ravelry, which I've spoken about before on my videos. But I was just starting the back panel here, and on this one, to start it, I thought I'd show you how the armholes were going to be put in. So we start off with the, this is the ribbing at the bottom of the cardigan, so it's a little bit different than the actual waffle stitch. So this one is all done by back loop half double crochet. So the first 9 stitches are back loop half double crochet. So I've chained one, and I'm just going to do the back loop. So you look at the loops here. It's hard to see because they're a bit that way, but see there, like a little V's there. This one's the front loop, and that's the back loop. So this is my chain one there, and this is my first stitch. So that's the front loop, that's the back loop, and I'll yarn over because I'm doing a half double. I go into the back loop and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So do that 9 times. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got our ribbing there worked up. So the next part is just each stitch. This next one here will go into the front loop on that stitch, back loop on that stitch, front loop on that stitch, front back loop on that one. So you just alternate them, and it gives this sort of you can see the front post there and the back there. So I'll start off with front loop. So when you go into the front loop, you go up under and into the front loop, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. So the next one, do back loop, front loop. Let's see how far we have to go. So we've got to go until there are, I'm doing the extra large one, so I have to go until there's 35 stitches left. I probably should have counted that first, but we'll go up and then we'll count it when we get closer. Oops, I got stuck there. Okay. That was a front loop, back loop. Oh, got stuck again. This yarn is very, very soft, but it can split sometimes. Back loop, front loop, and you just keep going. Back loop, front loop. I think this one I started off with 94 stitches. Might have been 95. Oh yeah, 94 stitches I think for the extra large. So you go until you've got 35 stitches left. I think what I'll do is just go to the end of the row here and count back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 1, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. About 35 stitches there. Let's put my stitch marker in there. So with the pattern that it's given us, we should end up on a back loop because we started front loop. We'll see when we get there. Front loop, back loop. And it's always good to check as you're going along that the posts match up with the post underneath, so it's not skewed. There we go. So that one was a back post. No, I say back post, it's front loop, back loop. Front post and back post is a bit different stitch. Front, back, front, back, front, back. And you just keep going back and forth, and then it creates this nice waffle stitch pattern. Back, front. Okay, we're almost to the stitch marker, and then I'll show you how they leave the opening for the sleeve there. Back, front, and back. So we've got 35 stitches left here. That's where our stitch marker's there. So the pattern calls for, let's see, so it says repeat until you've got 35 stitches left, half double crochet in the next stitch. So we've got a total there. So half double crochet in the next stitch. So it's wanting us to do in the full stitch. So we've got the front loop, back loop. We're going to go under both of the loops. And that is a full half double crochet. Okay. So, and then it says to turn. There we go. Oh no, it doesn't. We've got to do this first. I was going to say that didn't make any sense. There we go. So now we need to chain 35. Chain 35. This is going to look weird, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Right. Chained 35. This is for the extra large. And then we turn, which is going to look really weird, but it will work out. So we've got our, that's where we would have gone through there, but we've actually just chained. I need to make sure our chain is straight across. There we go. So what it wants us to do now, this is the second row of the back panel, is half double crochet in the second chain from the hook. So that's the loop on the hook, that's the first chain. It wants us to go into the second chain and do a half double crochet. There we go. And then it says to half double crochet in each chain. Okay, so we should have 34 because the first chain didn't count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, need more yarn, go, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, need more yarn, okay. 34 is this last chain here. So if you look at it here, these would have been attached there, but because we've chained it as open, this will be the armhole. So we're just going to go back and now work into these ones here following the pattern. So we'll start with a back loop half double crochet and go back loop, front loop, back loop, front loop until we get to the ribbing at the bottom there. So this is my next stitch there. We're going to do back loop. And once I've done a couple of them, a few of them, I will check that it's lining up correctly. Back loop, front loop, back loop. so it looks like it's lining up. Do front loop, the next one, back loop. And you can kind of tell when you get down to the ribbing where the ribbing starts, but you will have, because this one started with a back loop, when we finished the chains, we should end on a front loop. But we will check it when we get there. I always like to double check, just in case. Pull some more yarn out. So that one was a back loop. It's back, front, back, front, back, front. Front. Almost down to the bottom. That's back, front, back. So this will be a front. One thing about this is if you forget, you could just look back and see which one you were on. So it's a front, that's a back loop, that's a front loop, that's a back loop. And this will be a front loop, back loop, front, back. And we've got to go until there are 10 stitches left for the ribbing at the bottom. Get as close as I think it will be, and then I'll just count back from the end. Sometimes it's helpful to just put a stitch marker on the end stitch or where you think you need to end. So that was a back loop. I'm just going to do a front loop here because I think that's where we need to end there. I think there should be 10 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there we go. So the last bit for the ribbing is always the back loop. So that's what it gives this ribbing look. So we're only going to do back loop for the last, well, we're going to do back loop for 9 stitches. And I'll show you why. We're only doing 9 here, even though there's 10 stitches left. The last stitch, when you're working this way, you always go through. So here's the last stitch here. You'll want to go through both loops. And it just gives it that nice clean edge on the bottom. So we're under both loops there. And then you do that. So that's finished that off. So that's the first row of the back panel. So hopefully you can see that kind of working out there. So that'll be the front panel. And then we're starting, there's that armhole there. And then the back panel is going to start there. So the back panel will be a lot more, it'll be a lot wider. And then we'll do another armhole, just the exact same way, following the same pattern. And then do the second front panel. So I'll come back to you once I've completed the back panel, and I'll show you when we start the next bit for the front panel.